big, big, big AHL news. Oh my god! Literally, when this broke last night, I just could not believe it. Because I was like, oh! And also, because questions got answered, but new questions arise. So, late last night, it was announced. Well, two things when I was first. First, what I think a lot of us probably suspected was going to happen has happened. That is that the Calder Cup playoffs will not be taking place this year. Um, I think the most of us we have been speculating on what's going to happen with that. You know, can we really do it with an odd number of teams? And given how some teams have been in the Canadian division and obviously can't cross because of the border, you know what was going on. So the Calder Cup will not take place. So that means, oh my God, Charlotte, you lucky, lucky people you are. I hope Checkers fans, hope you realize how lucky you are, because that means you are now still technically the reigning Calder Cup champions. Wow. Enjoy your reign, my friends, because it will not last long. So yeah. And it was also announced that each of these five divisions had been provided the opportunity to independently determine its own postseason format. Now, only one of these divisions has said, yes, we're going to do one. And that is our division, the Pacific. So, this is good news for our Barracuda, because it now means there is a possibility that postseason hockey could be coming to San Jose after all. Especially since a lot of media folk, pretty much the NHL, ruled the Sharks out from the very beginning. To them, what do they know? Okay, so only the Pacific Division is going to hold a postseason tournament. Now, this is to determine the division champion. Okay, so if you've been looking at the division standings throughout the whole year, don't bother anymore, because they're now out the window. In terms of, they're out the window in terms of determining a champion. But because obviously at this time of recording, on April the 20th, we do not know what the format's going to be. We don't know what the qualification purposes are, because obviously with Stockton being put in the Canadian division this year, it sort of scuppers things a bit, because there's only 7 teams in the Pacific left. So it doesn't really work. So we don't know yet the plans. We don't know what the format will be. All we know is that we, the Pacific Division, are going to be the lone division that's going to have a postseason to determine its division champion. And the division champion will receive the Chick Trophy, which has been presented to an NHL division champion annually since 1961-62. Oh, it's the John Dig Trophy. So it's the John D. Chick Trophy. Oh my God, try saying that after a mouthful. Okay, so so before I talk a bit more about my thoughts on this idea, I'm going to talk you through the other divisions' plans, just so you got an idea of what's going to happen. So, in the Atlantic Division, which consists of, now let me bring these standings to get it right. Right. So the Atlantic Division, which just has the 3 teams, which is Providence, Hartford, and Bridgeport. In that division, the team that finishes in first place during the regular season, ranked by points percentage, will be awarded the Emile Francis Trophy as division champions. This trophy has been presented to an AHL division champion since 2001-2 annually. Now, in the North Division, and I confused this with the Canadian one from the AHL, because that's what it's called, the AHL, but it's not. The North Division consists of Hershey, Lehigh Valley, Syracuse, Utica, Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, Rochester, and Binghamton. That's the North Division of the AHL. In that division, the team finishing first place during the regular season on points, ranked by points percentage, will be awarded the FG Teddy Oak Trophy as division champions. The Oak Trophy is one of the oldest trophies in North American sports. It was first presented in 1927 to the London Panthers of the Canadian Professional Hockey League. Now, in the Canadian division, Canadian plus Stockton, because obviously Calgary in that blind side put Stockton in with the Canadian teams. which consists of Larble, Manitoba, Toronto, and Bellevue. In that division, the team finishing first place during the regular season based on rank by points percentage will be awarded the Frank S. Matthews Trophy as division champions. That trophy has been presented to the NHL division or conference champion annually since 1995-96. And then finally, in the Central Division, the team that finishes, which consists of Chicago, Cleveland, Grand Rapids, Iowa, Texas, and Rockford. In that division, the team finishing first during the regular season on points percentage will be awarded the Sam Pollock Trophy as division champions. That trophy has been presented to an AHL division champions annually since 1995-96. So that's what the other divisions are planning to do. Our division, the Pacific, is the only division that's going to have a post-season tournament. Now, as I say, at this time, we do not know what the format's going to be. We don't know the format. Because there's lots of ways you could do this. Let's go into it now. There's a lot of ways you could do this. You could do it as a simple, well, just the top 4 qualify, which in that case, right now at the time of recording, the Barracuda would be in, along with Bakersfield, who've been a bit of an Achilles heel for the Barracuda this season. San Diego and Henderson. They are the current top 4 in the Pacific Division at the time of recording. So that could be one format, which would definitely guarantee the Barracuda a chance. Or you could do all 17s, because like I say, Stockton's not in the Pacific Division, because obviously Calgary moved them to Calgary to be closer to them. So you could have all 17s do it, so that would include Ontario, Tucson, and Colorado, who are currently out of the picture if it was a regular season as normal. But that, you'd probably have to do like a bit of a mini tournament, and all teams play each other, say, a certain amount of times. So, this is good news for us Barracuda fans, and particularly for us San Jose hockey fans, because it means our city now has a chance to host playoff hockey. Yeah, because like I said, when the AHL's plans for this year were announced, a lot of people pretty much wrote our Sharks up straight away. And I say to those people, screw you! Absolutely. And for me, my thoughts for the Sharks season is a rebuild. It's a rebuild year, it's a rebuild for the future. But the Barracuda, I didn't really have an idea of what sort of season they should have, because, for a majority of the build-up to this AHL season, we didn't know what was going to happen. We didn't know the formats or who's going to be in, who's going to be out. I still can't believe that only 3 teams chose to opt out of the AHL season this year. I thought at least maybe, I don't know, at least 10 probably would have said, no, we're not going to do it, and be out. The fact it was only 3, which were Springfield, who are the new affiliates of the Blues. You've got Milwaukee, who are the long-time affiliate of Nashville. And, of course, you've got our reigning Calder Cup champions, Charlotte, who, of course, are the new affiliates of the Florida Panthers after, I don't know what happened with Carolina. So I'm still surprised it was just those 3. So for the Barracuda, really, it's just, get through the season, as best you can. And they have done really, really great. They're doing great. So, this gives, and what this does for the Pacific Division now is it now gives everybody a chance to go, it could be us. We could maybe win the division. Because throughout the regular season, it has looked like a bit of one-horse race. Henderson, out of nowhere, had came in and literally took this division to the cleaners and was knocking off wins left, right, and centre. But recently, their form has struggled a bit, and their record's not so squeaky clean as it once was at the start of the year. And San Diego's now put them in the mix, so now, look at the division standings, it's currently a 2-horse race between San Diego and Henderson. But now, that means nothing. That is probably just going to turn the seedings if it's just top 4. Now, everybody, regardless of whether you're viewed as an outsider or not, everybody in the Pacific Division now has a chance to go and say, well, it now could be us. We could now win the division. You know, we've now got a realistic chance again. Because we all know in postseason hockey, anything goes. So yeah, so I'm really excited, and for Thursday, this is a big deal because a lot of people thought that the team would not get playoff hockey again, but hey, there's now a great big chance. And either of those two scenarios I say, the Barracuda, well, if it's all division, the Barracuda are definitely in. If it's just top 4, then there is still a little bit of work to do because we are, at the time recording, still in 4th place. We've got a bit of a cushion, but we would still need to have a good, strong end of the year to guarantee. So, I'm really excited, and yes, let's bring it on. Bring on postseason action. Even if it is only just to determine who wins the Pacific Division in the American Hockey League for 2020-21. So excited. Well, that's all for this breaking news edition. And until next time, all that's been said and so, I will leave you now. Hello, George Hand here. Please make sure you subscribe to my channel to stay up to date with all my latest videos. Don't forget to like, send a comment below, and why not stick around to watch a few more? Go on, I highly recommend it.